Hello, and thank you for your interest in the Mosquito Ambassador Program. My name is Kylie Knoll, and I'm a member of the Illinois Natural History Survey's Medical Entomology Lab. Here in the MedEnt Lab, we're working to understand disease vectors like mosquitoes and ticks, aiming to keep people informed and safe. This citizen science project, the Mosquito Ambassador Program, or MAP, supports the goals of the MedEnt Lab in a couple of ways. First, by hearing from you, the participants. We want to determine what Illinois residents already know about mosquitoes and the diseases they carry. This will help us determine what information and resources are still needed in our community. MAP will also increase our surveillance capabilities for the invasive Aedes albopictus, the Asian tiger mosquito. The mosquito eggs that are sent back to the lab can be used to help answer additional research questions as well. For example, we can test the adult mosquitoes for resistance to insecticides to help determine if our current methods for mosquito management are still effective. Your participation in this project is a huge contribution to our research efforts, so thank you again. Now let's dive into what you've got in your egg collection kit and how to set everything up. First off, there's a stapled packet to look through. This contains everything you'll need to fill out for the project. The first page is a consent letter for you to read over. It explains that participation is completely voluntary, that your responses are anonymous, and that all data will be managed with care. Next, there is a knowledge, attitudes, and practices survey for you to fill out. Please fill out the survey before moving on to the collection step. This is how we will determine what y'all already know about mosquitoes and what we can help to explain still. Finally, the last page is where you will record the information associated with your egg collection. Next is a fact sheet with information on how to minimize your risk of mosquito bites. Make sure to look this over and maybe even take some time to evaluate your yard and remove any standing water. Bird baths, rain barrels, and clogged gutters can all be larval mosquito habitats. But mosquitoes don't need very much water to lay their eggs. So also keep in mind that empty cans, bottles, and toys can accumulate water and become problematic as well. Now back to the kit. We've got an envelope to send everything back to us in, and there's a postcard with instructions on how to collect and ship the mosquito eggs, which is possibly how you came upon this video in the first place. I'll go through the postcard steps with you now. The rest of the items in your kit are for collection: a cup, seed germination paper, an empty tea bag, and a plastic baggie. Additional items that you will need are water, which water from the tap is fine, and grass clippings. First, we will make an attractant to draw the mosquitoes in to lay their eggs. To do this, you'll open up the empty tea bag and fill it up with grass clippings and pull the drawstring shut on it. Put the tea bag at the bottom of the black plastic cup. Then fill the cup up with water to the drain holes. This will make a grass infusion that will be really stinky. This will attract female mosquitoes to lay their eggs. The smell indicates plant matter and bacteria in the water, which are good food sources for growing mosquito larvae. Next, roll up the seed germination paper and place it into the cup as well. This is where the mosquitoes will lay their eggs. They'll lay them right above the water line, which is why we've got the drainage holes in the cup, to keep the water at the same level. Under normal conditions, females will lay their eggs above the water line, and with the next rain, the eggs become submerged and then hatch. So we're taking advantage of that here. All that's left now is to put the cup outside in a place where it won't be disturbed. You can put it up against a fence or a tree or something to stabilize it. You want to avoid placing it in direct sunlight, so try to find a shady area. Make sure to note on your data sheet where and when you place it, and make note of the other additional details on the form. You'll want to maintain the water level for the next 7 days, just keeping it up to the drainage holes. After 7 days, take the paper out and let it air dry. We're taking advantage of another mosquito adaptation here. The eggs can survive drying out for months, and they can even survive the winter this way. So drying the paper out prior to shipping will prevent the eggs from hatching, and they will still be viable upon arrival to the lab. It doesn't have to be bone dry, but you definitely want to make sure it isn't dripping wet where the eggs will hatch during transit. Fold the paper in thirds with the eggs towards the inside and place it into the Ziploc bag. Finally, once you've filled out all of the materials, you'll place everything in the envelope to send back to the lab. All you need is a stamp. Back at the lab, the eggs will be hatched and reared to adults to be identified so we can determine the presence of the invasive Aedes albopictus throughout the state. We'll work to share what we find with you on the lab's website. Thank you so much for participating. Your efforts do not just help the ongoing research here at the lab, but hopefully after participating in this program, you'll have learned more about mosquitoes and their habitats and be able to effectively control mosquitoes in your own backyard. And not only that, you'll be a mosquito ambassador that can inform your family, friends, and neighbors on these practices too. Thank you again.